Another week goes by, and another hate video from your favorite donkey. I really didn't want to make this next video because I grew up with this series of games. But when there's no choice, there's no choice. Ubisoft dug this grave for themselves. How? By catering to the modern wokey community and dismissing legitimate criticism from gamers. We all know that if there's something a gamer with a fragile ego and mommy problems can't handle, it's being told they're wrong. That's why the news about the delay of Shadows 4 enhancement and maintenance didn't really surprise me, especially after the unsurprising failure of Outlaws. Ubisoft realizes they're on borrowed time. They realize there's a limit to how many half-baked games they can put out with the same soulless open-world map, a recycled battle system, and pathetic side missions. In general, it's a product that feels like a meal at McDonald's. It's satisfying, it's tasty, but it comes out burning in the bathroom. Games that aim to burn time, but in the most unsatisfactory way possible. But today I don't want to dwell on the strange gameplay choices that Ubisoft makes or on the technical side of the games. Instead, I want to focus on the storm of the Black Samurai. Let me start by saying that I agree 100% with the Japanese. For years, we've all been waiting for an Assassin's Creed game set in Japan. It's a godsend. But when we finally got it, Ubisoft decided to make the main character black. Now, Ubisoft's keyboard warriors, those who played Assassin's Creed Mirage and enjoyed every fetch quest, will rise up and fiercely defend Ubisoft, claiming,
"But Yasuke was a real historical figure."
And although they are right, to them I will answer bullshit. Of all of Yasuke's life, only 1 year is recorded in history, and in the end, after the death of Oda Nobunaga, he was returned to African traders. That is, Ubisoft is changing history here to fit their narrative, and although Assassin's Creed is not sticking to history as it used to, they have never made such a blatant change to it. I mean, I don't care when you add some monster boss battles or do some alternative history shenanigans, but I do care when you stoop so low as to make a slave a hero just to appeal to modern day standards. This is a blatant use of Yasuke's life, whose entire significance was his difference, because the Japanese had never seen a brother from the motherland. Despite his loyalty and bravery, Yasuke's life ended tragically in obscurity, forgotten after being stripped of any honor he earned. Ubisoft uses his life as a plaything to please those with blue hair and father issues who won't play their games anyway. Ubisoft, you made a game about feudal Japan with so many samurai and main characters to choose from, and you chose the first black guy you found. And I just know my brother is starving. There is no KFC there. Think if they released a game about Assassin's Creed Hood and the main character was a red-haired Irishman dressed like a leprechaun. Do you see the implications here? But in all seriousness, Ubisoft, instead of choosing a protagonist that fits the general atmosphere of the game, in a game about assassins in Japan, you chose a 6'4" NBA-built black guy? Really, Ubisoft? The problem isn't that he's black, it's that it feels forced and inauthentic. Japan's history is full of fascinating characters and stories that could have been explored. Yet Ubisoft opted for a character that feels out of place. This approach does a disservice to both Japanese culture and the black community. It's not about excluding diversity, but about staying true to the setting and making choices that enhance the story rather than feeling like an agenda-driven decision. And you know what's really annoying here? The missed opportunity. Instead of taking a black character and creating a suitable story for him, they chose to distort reality excessively to suit their agendas. Instead of making a remake of Black Flag, Ubisoft could have made an entire game about Adewale's character, rather than the half-baked expansion pack he got. Adewale was a former slave who escaped to become a feared pirate and eventually an assassin. His story is filled with themes of resilience, freedom, and revenge, perfect for an engaging and emotional narrative. Adewale's journey from an oppressed man to a leader of freedom fighters would make for an incredibly powerful game. His story involves navigating a harsh world, gaining power, and exacting justice. Essentially everything Assassin's Creed stands for. Think about it. A story of a slave who escaped from a slave ship and became an assassin in the world of AC Black Flag. Instead of recycling the story of Black Flag, you have the opportunity to give adequate representation to black characters and also make a real pirate game, unlike the pathetic excuse for a video game like Skull and Bones.
Know your fucking place, trash!
But I guess Ubisoft is just allergic to money. And you know what? A game about a black samurai is a crazy idea. A new Afro samurai game with songs by Wu-Tang Clan sounds like an amazing combination of Japanese culture and hip-hop culture. But Ubisoft prefers to take their well-known IP, squeeze it, and strip it of any soul it had just to make it sell well. Deep down, I wish this series would be cancelled just so they would start butchering it in such a barbaric way. Assassin's Creed allows Ubisoft to be lazy and recycle their video games, and honestly, I'm fed up. Assassin's Creed Black Flag used to be my favorite game until Red Dead Redemption 2 came out. But if Ubisoft continues to abuse their franchise like that, I don't want to be a part of it anymore. Anyway, I really hope they manage to fix their mess, but honestly, I don't have much faith in them. Until Ubisoft learns to respect both history and their audience, the Assassin's Creed series will continue to lose what made it special.